Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Rocky Mountain Association for College Admission Counseling College Fair tonight, our virtual college fair. Thank you all for joining us. Just a couple reminders. You can use the Q&A or the question and answer button at any time during the presentation to the presenters. Your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists cannot see or hear you. There are many more sessions. This is just one of the mini college presentations. So feel free to sign up for a session for the next time slot or online where you signed up for this one as well. There will be a recording available and all sessions will be recorded and available at strivescan.com/RMACAC. That is RMACAC. Or if you would like to take a screenshot, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, I am going to go ahead and turn it over to our presenters tonight. And first up, we have Sewanee, the University of the South.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight or watching the recording when that works for your schedule. I'm excited to share a little bit of information with you this evening. I'm Taylor Baird, and I work at Swannee, admission counselor in the office, and I work with students in the RMACAC region. So wherever you're falling to tune into this, either myself or my colleague Shira Burnett would be your counselor. Swannee is located in Tennessee, right in between Nashville and Chattanooga. And I thought I would use my time to share a video with you so that way you can kind of visualize campus and hear a little bit about our identity and our admission process through that video. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I will be back shortly. Hi, I'm Taylor Baird. I'm a graduate of Swannee and I currently work in the Office of Admission. And I get to tell you a little bit about my home for the past 10 years. You might be thinking, Swannee, the University of the South. What does that entail? Well, the University of the South is so much more than a campus that we had to create new words for it. It's the mountain. It's our home on the Cumberland Plateau. It's the domain, situated between Nashville and Chattanooga. It's a working farm, a 13,000-acre forest, a natural playground with trails to hike and rocks to climb. But above all, it's a community. That's Swannee. And it's a place that I hope you'll consider calling home one day too. The domain is where we live, eat, research, recreate, reflect, and compete. I mean, 30% of our students are scholar athletes competing on one of our Division III varsity athletic teams. It's a lot, and we like it that way. Our university motto, Ecce Quam Bonum, or EQB, ensures that we push each other and appreciate each other while dwelling together in unity. You'll be sharing Swannee with about 1,700 other 17 to 22-year-olds and the broader community, so there's rarely a dull moment here. While we're nestled in Tennessee, you're still going to be encouraged and expected to engage with a global community. We want you to address global issues and engage in a way that connects Swannee with the rest of the world. This is a place where everybody stands up for what they think and for what they believe in. That dialogue across difference and that true discourse is the environment that we strive to cultivate. For example, we have deep roots with the Episcopal Church, but we know that it's important to create a healthy interfaith environment here for students as well. With the combination of intellectual rigor and community, Swannee will help you figure out who you are. As an institution, we've been exploring who we've been and who we are. We want to model that for students, that you're exploring those questions, and that asking questions and seeking solutions is commonplace. You can do that at Swannee because your professors are teachers and mentors first and researchers second. We believe in educating the whole person through the liberal arts education. That's what happens when you engage with your professors. You get out into the field and you wrestle with the questions that the world hasn't figured out the answers to yet. It's in that process that you will enhance your studies, hone your skills, and increase your postgraduate prospects. In hoping that you'll engage that way, we've made a commitment to you, the Swannee Pledge, and the commitment is simple. We pledge to provide funding for a summer internship or research opportunity during your time at Swannee. We also pledge that you'll be able to make global connections by providing access to a semester-long study abroad program at no additional tuition cost. And finally, we pledge that you'll graduate in 4 consecutive years with at least one major. If you do not, you can study for an additional year at Sewanee and no additional tuition cost. At Sewanee, if you give your best in good faith, we will honor that dedication and effort. You won't even have to compete with graduate students for these opportunities, and in many cases, worry about the funding that make them possible. Sewanee believes in access as much as we do excellence, which is why we're committed to meeting 100% of the demonstrated financial need for all admitted first-year students. We also recognize academic achievement, so in addition to need-based aid, we do offer academic scholarships as well. Our goal is to accept the most talented students for whom Sewanee is the best choice, and then to provide the financial aid package that makes it possible for you to enroll here. That's the Sewanee Learns. We want to find strong fit students and guide you through the search and application process. Sewanee is a common application school and there's no fee to apply. We also know that test scores aren't always the best indicator of a student's academic success. And that's why at Sewanee we're test optional. That allows you to choose to submit the ACT, SAT, or no scores at all. So if you're ready to take this journey and opt into this experience, I hope you'll choose to apply to Sewanee. I can't wait to see how you'll make this place your home and bring your perspective to our community.
Thank you, Taylor.
Oops, sorry, my transition was a little rusty, but thank you guys so much, and I will be around for any questions in the chat.
Awesome. Thanks, Taylor. No worries. Your transition was perfectly fine. Next up, we have the University of Louisville with V. So whenever you are ready, V, please feel free to take it away.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I am V. Alidema with the University of Louisville. I am based in Los Angeles, California, and work with students from all Western US. Before I get started, I want to make sure to show you a quick little video to showcase a little bit more about life on campus. Enjoy.
You walk in here and you don't know where you fit, but there are people from everywhere and everyone's looking. For friends, for fun, for their future. Jock, geek, troublemaker, nerd, blah, blah, blah. Forget your high school labels. Here, you'll live in a diverse world of individuals. The University of Louisville's student body is representative of the state, the country, the entire giant planet. Starting now, you get to define you. No, you've got the R all wrong. With more than 200 majors available, we definitely have your major. Before you graduate, you'll go to more than 1,200 classes. And you'll traverse a park-like campus cultivated with more than 220 years of history. There's also lots of opportunities for internships, co-ops, international study abroad, and research programs to layer your education. U of L is about much more than academics. Explore the things you love. Join a club, volunteer in the community, get active in student government, start a study group for one of your classes. The residence halls are a great place to bond with new friends. Almost everyone loves their first roommate. Almost. But don't roost in your room too long. We've got state-of-the-art workout facilities, a variety of intramural sports, and other fitness clubs that make it easy to stay active. Stop, that R is still not quite right. Back up. Rubbing the toe of the thinker during finals week will bring you good luck on your exams. On the other hand, don't step on the cardinal bird. It's bad luck. Very bad luck. You're leaving the nest to explore new boundaries, but don't be confined by the boundaries of campus. Louisville is a vibrant city full of culture, music, parks, sports, and great food. So get ready to settle in and learn how to throw what you know, because by the time that you leave the University of Louisville, you'll be ready to when you become an insider here, you're ready to make an impact out there.
All right, so reasons why students choose the University of Louisville is because we are a great value. We're a medium-sized Carnegie Research University that's accessible, affordable, with automatic scholarships, internship opportunities at Fortune 500 companies, engineering co-ops that pay an average of $34,000 before students even graduate. And we're also lucky to have our own dentistry and law school with direct entry, as well as our medical school and university hospital system. We were very well prepared for a big crisis like COVID-19. We're one of only 13 universities in the US to have a CDC lab, which conducts pandemic research. This medical expertise allowed us to safely invite students back to campus for not only visits, but also in-person classes. And we're located about 10 minutes away from downtown Louisville, walking distance from a famous Churchill Downs, where the famous Kentucky Derby takes place, and that's happening this weekend. So the U of L has been named the most beautiful campus in Kentucky. We are residential with ample housing options and tree-like campus, which is very compact and walkable. End-to-end, it'll take you about 15 minutes total to walk. So this is where the cards eat. You'll notice how compact and close by the residence halls are to the all-important restaurants and Starbucks to support your learning. These are some of the unique majors we have in our campus, and to the left, you'll see most popular majors. I will say for students coming from Western US, we have noticed most students will come in for engineering, business, nursing, and the number 3 program in the nation, which is sports administration program. If you want to visualize what each program entails and what classes you will take in a specific major, you can head over to our website and search our catalog for our flight plans. If you're not sure what major to pick, that's okay. We have more than 216 majors, so we have something for everyone. And there's an opportunity for you to apply as undecided. We do have the resources to still help you make sure you graduate on time and you pick the right major for you. And speaking of applying, you can apply either test optional or traditional up to fall 2022 as of now. If you're applying to our flagship STEM programs like engineering, business, and nursing, you still have a pathway for direct entry as a test optional student. And as far as applying goes, what you need is either Common App or directly going to our website to apply. You need your application, high school transcript, test scores, or student involvement resume if you're not bringing in test scores, and $25 app fee. You can most certainly visit. We have multiple options. You can either go in person or you can take advantage of ample options virtually as well, including one of my favorites, which is Instagram Takeover Live. And this is my contact information. Thanks so much for your attention, and go Cards.
That was perfectly timed. Thank you so much, V. We are going to move right along to Brian with Clemson University.
Right. How's everyone doing? My name is Brian Green. I am a counselor here at Clemson University. So this is my first year as an undergraduate admissions counselor. I have had the opportunity of going to Clemson too. I graduated in December 2019. And so today I just really want to give you some of our deadlines, dates, and just some things that we like to hold note in our office as students are applying. All right. So just to get started, Clemson is located in South Carolina. We call it the upstate of South Carolina. So towards that little triangular piece at the top, we are about 2 hours away from Atlanta, Georgia, and about 2 hours away from Charlotte, North Carolina. And then we're about 45 minutes from the next biggest city to us, which is Greenville, South Carolina, all right? So a lot of times students go there for, shopping, food, just to have fun on the weekends, to get away if they want that city feel. But then again, we also have this option for students who are out of state. We offer transportation to Greenville. We also offer transportation to Charlotte airports, just in case students have to go home over breaks or there's something going on campus and we have to get students, out. But continue on. Some of our dates and deadlines for admissions: August 1st is when our application goes live. It goes live every year. You can use the Common App, Coalition app, and then also our Clemson specific application, which is on our admissions website. Then by December 1st, we ask that you have that application turned in. That way you are considered for notification, and notification will come on a little later. And then by December 31st, we ask you to submit your high school transcripts, test scores, and any other academic recruiting scholarship processing. That way you can be considered in February. And also in February, we'll give you your decision. We usually promise students by mid-February, so that Valentine's Day, I actually got mine on the Valentine's Day, so it was a great surprise. It didn't have a date, but you know, I had Clemson, so it's always good to have that. And then on May 1st, it's our final deadline to apply for all fall admissions. What we're looking for in students, we're looking at students, your GPA, your class standings, the type of classes you took in high school, and then also just any standardized test scores that you may include. So this year, we're not really sure if we're going test optional. However, I would always say plan as if we are looking for test scores. That way, if you have them, great. If you don't, or if you do and you don't want to use them, that's also great. And then we're also looking at your choice of major and residency. And the reason we look at your choice of majors is because we have a few limited space majors, which just means we have to fill up a few seats with the number of students coming in. And so for that, that's nursing, sports communications, architecture, special education, and then regular communications, all right? So also, like I said, we're looking at your residency and other attributes that make you a student. So we want to know who you are outside of your GPA and your transcript. So if that means sending in recommendation letters, different stories, a personal statement, or just want to give us pictures of what you're doing, your work, that is where you be personable and creative. I always tell students, I love that. One time I got juice from a student who wanted to be a food science major. So that was pretty interesting. I didn't get to really drink it, but it was just cool that they had that thought. So things like that really do help students stand out in the application pool. And then just to move on, we do have different pathways to Clemson. So in case you don't get that regular admit pathway into Clemson, there are other ways. So Bridge to Clemson, this has been a program we've had for quite some time now. Students come to campus, they live on campus, they have access to facilities and all the other functions that students have. The only thing is they have to take their classes about 5 miles up the road at our Tri-County Tech, which is just the community college. And students there have to have a 2.5 GPA and at least 30 credit hours before they can bridge on over their sophomore year. It's very popular, but this is only offered by admissions. And then also we have Tigertown Summerbound. So this is a fairly new program. We're about the 3rd year in, and students pretty much come, they're accepted into Clemson. However, they have to take 6 to 7 credit hour courses the summer before their freshman year, all right? And so with that, we don't have any stipulations. You just have to take those courses. And then finally, you can always transfer from any 2 or 4 year institution. We again just ask that you have at least a 2.5 GPA and 30 credit hours worth, right? And then finally, you can connect with us every day, Monday through Friday. We have office hours where counselors, there's about 2 on each session from Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Zoom. So if you go to our admissions website and click the link, you can just log right on in. And then we also have virtual tours. So there's from 11 at 3 p.m. and at 7 p.m. And those are Monday through Friday as well. And then of course, we are offering in-person tours now. They're a little bit smaller, but you still have to sign up on our admissions website. And so hopefully by summer, we'll be able to take in a larger crowd. So if you need anything, please don't forget to contact us, email us. And then I will also put my information in the chat, but I don't think you have access to it, but I will figure out to get my information to you all somehow. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Brian. We are moving right along to the University of Richmond with Amanda. Amanda, whenever you're ready, please feel free to go ahead.
All right. Very excited to be with you all this evening. My name is Amanda Gerhardt, Senior Assistant Director of Admission at the University of Richmond in Richmond, Virginia. We are a private liberal arts and sciences college located in Richmond, Virginia. And while we are in the capital city of Virginia, you can see we are not an urban campus. So we are located in a suburban part of Richmond, a very green, safe campus for our students, just about 6 miles outside of the downtown area. So certainly students have access to these, to the great restaurants and shops that are available downtown, but we are in a more suburban part of Richmond. We're also about 2 hours south of Washington, D.C., and tucked nicely 2 hours between the Blue Ridge Mountains in the west and the beaches in the east. So a lot of great outdoor scenery for our students to enjoy while they're on our campus as well. As far as our size, we like to think of ourselves as a big, small school. We have 3,000 undergraduate students, which make up the large majority of our student population here at Richmond. Our campus, though, we really are going to create an environment for our students to have a voice in the classroom. We want to make sure that you are contributing to your education and that you're learning from not just your professors, but from your peers as well. So our classes are very discussion driven with an average class size of only 16 students and a huge majority of our classes being under 30 students as well. Most of our students do live on campus all 4 years. You can see 90% of our students living on campus. And it's important to note that students are choosing to live on campus. So there is no requirement to live on campus, but our students make the University of Richmond their home. They want to be close to their classes. They want to be close to their professors, to the dining hall. Perhaps most importantly, we have some really delicious food on our campus. And so it's great to find a home here at Richmond and find a nice community. I will note as well that we do meet 100% of demonstrated need for all of our admitted students, and we are also need blind for US citizens and permanent residents. So we're among a small population of colleges and universities that tick off both of these boxes. We're very committed to make sure that Richmond is an accessible place for students from all different backgrounds, and certainly don't want your financial situation to play a role in our admissions decision. As far as our programs, our majors are housed within 3 different schools, but when you apply to the University of Richmond, you apply to the university as a whole. Most of our majors are housed within our School of Arts and Sciences. Things like biology, psychology, global studies are some of our most popular, but we do also have a School of Business, and it's unusual to be able to major in and get a degree in something like accounting or finance in a liberal arts college. So for that reason, business is quite popular for our students as well. Lastly is our School of Jepson School of Leadership Studies, the first of its kind in the United States, so something we're very well known for as well. And this is a program that's very multidisciplinary, and it allows for development of those soft skills. What does it take to lead now? What will it take to lead in a future world as we know things are changing? How can you move people towards success? All of these programs allow for a great deal of flexibility. So you'll see that many of our students do double major or have a major and a minor or two. And again, students have the flexibility to not declare their major or majors until the end of their 2nd year. But the learning doesn't end in the classroom. We want students to get out and about, and we're very committed to making sure that this can happen. So we have the Richmond Guarantee, which is a promise that every single student will receive up to $4,000 at least once to fund a summer research or internship opportunity. So this means that there's no such thing as an unpaid internship for a Richmond student. If a company or an organization can't pay you, we're going to pay you instead. We want you to say yes to every great opportunity that comes your way. It's going to enhance your understanding of your material and also help you to build that resume along the way. Study abroad is also a huge part of the Richmond experience for many of our students. Just under 70% of our students study abroad at least once. So we have programs all over the country, all over the world, allow for short-term as well as long-term programs. And we also have students studying abroad in or outside of their major. So if you want to explore one part of the world, we are going to make sure that that can happen for you. We're going to provide you with an additional cultural stipend to be able to explore that country. And of course, all financial aid and scholarships will also carry with you abroad. And students at Richmond are very involved. We have over 180 different student-run clubs and organizations, as well as our 17 Division I sports. So this is another thing that makes us unique is that we do have Division I athletics at our small liberal arts and sciences college. Getting out to the games is a big event for our students, particularly the basketball games, lots of school spirit there, and all of those games are going to be free for our students to attend. I also want to note that it's a beautiful place to be a student, just rated #1 most beautiful college campus by the Princeton Review. We will be open for summer tours, so if you have the opportunity to be on the East Coast, we would welcome you to our campus to be able to explore. And our students are really well prepared for what comes next after graduation. We are a top-ranked school for both internships as well as career services. 96% of our students are employed or furthering their education within 6 months of graduation. As far as our merit scholarships, I also want to note that in addition to that financial aid, we do award scholarships to about 1 in 8 admitted students. Everything from our Richmond scholarship, which is full tuition, room and board, to our presidential scholarships, which are 1/3 tuition. And to be considered for the full range of scholarships, we encourage students to apply by December 1 of their senior year. So that's going to, again, give you automatic consideration for the full range of scholarships with no additional essays or anything like that that are needed. I know that was a lot of information. I'm happy to share my contact information here. Please feel free to get in touch with me as your admission counselor for any other questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Amanda, and thank you to the rest of our presenters. I am going to invite our presenters to turn back on their cameras and come back on screen, as we will have some questions for our presenters to answer for our attendees. I will go ahead and pull up some of those questions just so our attendees can see them as well. The first question is going to be, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we can go ahead and start with Taylor and go back in the same order. So whenever you're ready, Taylor, let us know.
Wonderful. There's lots of advice, but I'll go with my gut reaction. And I think, especially for students still like in the discernment phase of what you want out of a college experience or the type of school, I would say spend some intentional time just thinking about that, removing the pressure of what you think is expected of you or what your like insular peer group or students at your school might have traditionally done or be doing at this moment. And just try to think not just about what you want to major in or sort of those aspects that might come to mind first, and kind of dig into like, what do you want out of that experience, which is a little bit of a different question. And I think would have been harder for me to answer 16 to 18 years old. But I think digging into that can give you some like guidance and a little bit more confidence in the college search process as a whole.
So what I like to tell students is to treat every university that you are considering as if it's your #1. And what I mean by that is pay attention once you have made your list. Pay attention to all the deadlines, make sure that you are turning in everything that you can on time, and to meet with your admission counselor. We are admission counselors, not rejection counselors for a reason. And so what we want to do is reach out and help you out throughout the entire process to make sure that you understand whether our university we're representing is the correct one for you. So that's my big takeaway from all of this, especially for this year, is make sure that you connect with your admission counselor. Again, treat also each one of the schools you're considering as if it's your #1, because it could eventually be your #1.
Brian, whenever you're ready.
All right, so my advice would be for students to always, even if the application goes live on August 1st, always look at the application and review it. That way, before your senior year gets a little bit too busy in the fall, you know what to expect, you know what deadlines you have to meet. That way you're just prepared for each step of the way. So definitely review the application when it first goes live. And then when school starts, you have everything you need and you can get a roll on that and finishing that by the end of the deadline.
My piece of advice is about preparing for the essay. I know that's often a really intimidating part of the application process for many students, but I always remind students that the essay is the only part of the application you have complete control of. And while that might sound intimidating, I hope that for you, that's really an empowering opportunity to be able to share your story. You are unique. You don't have to try to be unique. And so just take advantage of that time to share your voice.
Awesome. Thank you all. I do have maybe one more question for us. Let's give an interesting or fun fact about your school. I like this question. So take it away, Taylor.
Yeah, it's never fun going first. I have to, I guess this one is school specific, but I always like to hear what colleagues have to say. So Sewanee has a lot of our architecture and traditions are actually modeled after Oxford. So one that we have modeled is the Order of the Gown. And so it's an academic honor society essentially. And it's also rooted in the idea that every student receives their academic gown that they would graduate in before the end of their senior year and before commencement. So it's based off of 2 consecutive semesters GPA. And so there's the kind of ethos on campus that you've kind of opted into that small liberal arts experience and you're there to learn and contribute to the classroom. So you'll often see if you come to visit, students will wear their gown once they do receive that around campus to class. Most of our faculty teach in them. And there's sort of the idea that they don't leave the mountain. So it's often tradition to pass that down to, a peer or a younger student, or perhaps like a family member or someone meaningful to you would like to give you their gown. That's a really special moment academically and just tradition wise.
All right, so at the University of Louisville, we have one of only 7 original Rodin the Thinker statues, and it's really fun for students coming to visit from everywhere and take the picture, the famous pose with the Thinker. So that's one of many fun things about University of Louisville.
So one of our favorite things, or it's a tradition that we have at Clemson on Fridays. It's really a different atmosphere. So you'll see everybody wearing orange, whether it's students, staff, faculty, or, just guests coming on the campus. Everybody's wearing orange, and it's just an orange sea while you walk into class, getting breakfast or whatever you're doing that day. It's so fun to see, and just how people have different variations of orange and how they kind of wear it different ways too. So that's always cool.
At the University of Richmond, we have the only spider mascot, which sounds a little creepy crawly, but it's something we take great pride in. Our mascot's name is Webster, so hopefully you'll see him on our campus when you come to visit. We like to say that spiders are everywhere, and that's a good thing.
Okay, sounds awesome. Thank you for that, Amanda. I will try to keep that in mind when there are spiders in my office. But thank you all for joining us today. Just a last little bit of reminders before I let you all go. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We would really appreciate any feedback you can provide to us. Also, this is just one of the many sessions being hosted, so please be sure to sign up for more. In about a week, you will be able to find this session's recording as well as the other session recordings at strivescan.com/RMACAC. That is RMACAC. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and thank you to our presenters, and hopefully we will see you sometime soon. Thank you.